that there, want it that there, give me that there, want it that there. Give me that there. Give me that there, want that there. Give me that there. Give me that, give me that there. Oh yeah. It's time that we get a little funky. That's right. Get a little crunky. We back. It's been a couple weeks, but you know we in the sheets. That's right. We talk about sexual intercourse. Don't know why. We're supposed to be talking about movies and TV shows all the time, but who knows what the rhyme's gonna go, where the flow, oh no, I don't know where to go. We might as well start the show. All right, so let's do that. I think now would be a good time instead of just trying to figure out the rhymes and the scheming and the leaning and the winning.
Care Solutions, your solution to self-care. This is the app for meditation, so breathe in and out. Very good. Breathe in and breathe out. Excellent. Now breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Keep going. Breathe in, breathe in.
I can't breathe
What?
in anymore.
What was that?
I can't breathe in anymore.
Yes, you can. Just breathe in.
I can't breathe in
Yes,
anymore.
you can. Breathe in. Try eating the air. There you go. Eat it. Now, once you're done eating it, hold your breath for 17, 16.
Why are you starting so hot?
What? You made me lose my train of thought. I'll have to start over. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 2, 1, breathe out. Are you breathing out? I'm gonna have to start over. 17, 16.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Hi.
And hello to you too, to everybody out there, from the kings and queens to the little princes and princesses and the thems and the theys and the bubble, the bub, the bub, bub, boom. Welcome back to Popcorn Poppin' Live. I am your streaming guy, Jermaine, and you don't have time to figure out which movie to stream, what show to binge, and whether you should go out to see this or that on the big screen or on the small screen. There's too much content in the world, and you can't be wasting your time. So let me be the time waster for you by watching everything that you think looks vaguely interesting, or that I think looks vaguely interesting, and reporting back to you what's poppin' and what ain't. Tonight, we will be talking about things, stuff, and others. But for now, let's just talk about what's really in the news. The Golden Globe winners. We're going to just go over those real quick. Stand by. If you didn't watch them, they were all right. Joe Coy's in a lot of hot water. Maybe not hot water. People just said that he sucked. He was a little awkward. I think it's a weird narration of this bit. You guys didn't like this bit? Hey, I didn't write that one. I didn't really dig that, but it's whatever. I think people are really throwing shade because they don't like Taylor Swift to be talked shit about. And just because Barbie was a female feminist friendly film doesn't mean that they shouldn't have jokes made about them as well. It's a stand-up comedian. He's going to make fun of everybody. Everybody chill out. Now, whether those jokes were funny or not, I thought some were funny, but overall, it wasn't that great. I just didn't think it was the worst thing in the world. But I just wanted to go over the winners very quickly. Best Drama Motion Picture, Oppenheimer, which will be on Peacock February 14th or 12th. I don't know. I'll mention it again later. The Boy and the Heron won Best Animated Film. Actor in a musical comedy or film went to Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers. Very well deserved. Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer. Original song, Billie Eilish. Lily Gladstone won for Best Actress in a Drama Motion Picture. Barbie won Cinematic Box Office and Achievement. Cinematic and Box Office Achievement. It's deserved. I think there's other films there that also deserved it as well, but Barbie did start. I don't know, phenomenon's the right word, but I know other people would use that word for sure. Robert Downey Jr. won for Oppenheimer. This deserved. It's deserved. I don't know if it's more deserved than others, but I'll tell you what is deserved. Divine Joy Randolph for the holdovers. Deserved. I was rooting for Danielle Brooks, but I was also rooting for Divine as well. She was excellent in the holdovers. Emma Stone for Poor Things. Well deserved. Succession for Best Drama TV Series. It wasn't my least favorite season, but I prefer the first two seasons over the final. It was still well enough for one of the best final seasons for sure. Christopher Nolan for Best Director, Oppenheimer. Anatomy of a Fall for Best Foreign Language Film, which I haven't had a chance to watch yet. I'm very excited to watch it. I'm not excited that it's 2.5 hours long, but I am excited to watch it nonetheless. Sarah Snook for Succession. I didn't know that. I want to look at her acceptance speech. She's a great actress. I'm excited to see what else she's going to do since Succession is over. Kieran Culkin for Succession. Stephen Yeun for Beef. Ayo Edebiri for The Bear. And there's some missing stuff because I know what's her name won too. Ali Wong won, didn't she? Let's see. Trying to get through this quickly. We went through Cillian Murphy. We went through Robert Downey Jr., Divine, Chris Nolan, Anatomy of a Fall, Ludwig Göransson for Best Score, Motion Picture, Oppenheimer, Sarah Snook, Kieran Culkin, Ayo, Jeremy Allen White for The Bear, Ali Wong for Beef, Elizabeth Debicki for The Crown, Matthew McFadden for Succession, well-deserved. Actually, yeah, that's probably the most well-deserved out of everyone at that list. James Marsden was nominated for Jury Duty as well, and he was great in it too, but Matthew McFadden, it was dope. I also think you shouldn't watch a recording of the Golden Globes because I'm pretty sure I know Matthew McFadden did give out a spoiler, and I don't think people that don't watch Succession are going to be able to catch it, but just know he does say a spoiler. What just happened? That was weird. My screen went black for a second. Hope no one's hacking me. Best performance in a stand-up, Ricky Gervais for Armageddon. Chappelle should have won. I don't think it was in the running, but out of all of those, I like the Chappelle one the most. And that's it. I thought for the most part, they did a good job with the winners. I don't have much to complain about. There was the first award show that I watched as it was going on for a very long time. I've missed the past couple of years of Golden Globes and Academy Awards because they're very cringeworthy. And this one was no different. Also, that came in with the Screen Actor Guild Award nominations. I was going to go over that real quick. We're not going to make a whole show of it because I don't watch the Screen Actor Guild Award, but I do know that they are a prestigious award ceremony that's compared more and more often to the Golden Globes. I do know that they're more fun, apparently. I don't think I've watched one of their award shows, but let's see. Outstanding cast in a motion picture. American Fiction, excited to watch it. Barbie, sure. Color Purple, yes. Killers of the Flower Moon, sure. Oppenheimer, sure. Best performance by male actor in a leading role. Bradley Cooper for Maestro, sure. Coleman Domingo and Rustin, still haven't a chance to watch. Paul Giamatti, yes. Cillian Murphy, yes. Jeffrey Wright, probably. Performance by a female actor. Annette Bening for Nyad, haven't watched it yet. Lily Gladstone, yes. Carey Mulligan for Maestro, absolutely. How she wasn't, I don't think she was she not nominated for a Golden Globe? She should definitely be nominated for an Oscar. Margot Robbie for Barbie, yes. Emma Stone for Poor Things, yes. Let's just talk about who's nominated that hasn't been nominated for a Golden Globe instead of just going through the whole thing. Sterling K. Brown was nominated for American Fiction. Willem Dafoe was nominated for Poor Things. Penelope Cruz for Ferrari. That's cool. Good for Penelope. Jodie Foster for Nyad. That's probably it. Yeah. Was Kerry Russell nominated? I don't know if she was, but she is now. Alex Borstein for Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Hannah Waddingham for Ted Lasso. Brett Goldstein for Ted Lasso. Dope. Good for him. He actually was very good in the final season, even though I didn't love it that much. That might be it. Standing action performance by a stunt ensemble in a motion picture. Cool. I don't know how long they've been doing that, but Barbie, no. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Sure. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. John Wick Chapter 4. You fucking know it. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, of course, but that would just be Tom Cruise, right? And finally, when it comes to award shows, and then we don't have to talk about award shows again until the winners we'll talk about next week, but because the Emmys are on tomorrow on Fox, you can watch them on Hulu the next day. Outstanding drama series, Andor, no. Better Call Saul, yes. The Crown, haven't watched. House of the Dragon, it's a very well-made show. I just don't love it that much. Last of Us, absolutely. Succession, sure. White Lotus, it was really good. Yellow Jackets, sure. Outstanding comedy series, Abbott Elementary, probably. I don't watch it anymore because I don't like the sitcoms. It's too much of a sitcom, even though I do like some sitcoms. Barry, I didn't love the last season. I think it's overrated. The Bear, haven't watched it. Jury Duty, yes. Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, haven't watched the latest season. Only Murders in the Building, no. Ted Lasso, no. That was my least favorite season. Wednesday, Outstanding limited or anthology series, Beef, Dahmer, Daisy Jones and the Six, Fleshman is in Trouble, Kenobi. Beef is the only one that deserves to be up there. Although Dahmer I couldn't finish. It was well made, but I was too uncomfortable. Outstanding talk series. Don't have to go over that. Reality. No. All right. Lead actors. Jeff Bridges and The Old Man. Didn't watch. Brian Cox. Yes. Kieran Culkin. Yes. Bob Odenkirk. Yes. Pedro Pascal. Yes. Jeremy Strong. Yes. Lead actress. Sharon Horgan. I really want to watch Bad Sisters on Apple TV Plus. Melanie Linsky for Yellow Jackets. Yes. Elizabeth Moss for Handmaid's Tale. Of course. Probably. Haven't watched the latest season. Bella Ramsey 100% deserves it. Absolutely. Sarah Snook, yeah. Kerry Russell, probably. All right, we're not going to go over these. This is bad television. No one's watching anyway. Moving on. Scorsese wants Daniel Day-Lewis back after receiving an award from Daniel Day-Lewis. Martin Scorsese said something along the lines of, we worked together before, and hopefully we can work together on one more thing in the future. Yeah, Martin Scorsese, look at my eyebrows. That'd be cool, I suppose. I just know that Daniel Day-Lewis has retired twice. I can't remember what his last movie was. It may have been Gangs in New York, but I do remember that he said that he was retired when they offered him Gangs in New York, and Scorsese talked him into it. So we'll see. I doubt he'll come back, though. I do think Phantom Thread is a great final film, even though not many people have seen it, nor I think find it that interesting. Oh, no, I don't have the Mia Goth one. That sucks. What is this jump? Oh, Oppenheimer is going to be on Peacock February 16th. Kickin It with Mia Goth. If you don't know the name, you do know the game. And by game, I mean movie. And by movie, I mean Pearl, the sequel to X. This was a pretty popular, I'd call it a little bit of an indie film that came out a couple years ago. X was okay. Basically, it's about people that get killed by an old couple. And they made a prequel movie called Pearl, which stars Mia Goth again. She plays a character in X, and she plays a different character in Pearl. And now she plays in the sequel, Maxine, which is filming right now. Without going over the story in too much detail, basically while filming a scene, there was a background actor that played a dead body or something that was laying on the ground. And the takes required Mia Goth to run through the crowd, run over the crowd, and like that, probably like a chase scene or something. And the background actor in between takes, after one of them, said to the director, hey, she almost stepped on me. Can you let her know to be careful? So apparently there's another take where she kicked his head, apparently repeatedly. And she like boasted about it in between takes as well. And like called her names and called him names and shit. I don't know if the story's real. I think it tracks. Mia Goth seems like an odd bird, but I think it's funny that she was like, he wants me to do what? I was going to not kick him because I'm a professional, but now I'm going to kick the fuck out of him. And also, it is a really shitty thing to just think you can kick a man while he's down. But I do know this will probably be settled out of court, and we'll never hear the story again. great, tremendous news. If you didn't hear, if you like 28 Days Later as much as I do, you will be awesomely informed by me, the awesome, that they are finally making the 28 Years Later trilogy movie, but 3 more movies. Let me explain. 28 Days Later was written by Alex Garland, who did Ex Machina, the upcoming Civil War, Men, and Annihilation. Annihilation is a great film, by the way. He also did the miniseries Devs, which is pretty good if you like that artsy shit. And it was directed by Danny Boyle, who did Train Spotting, 127 Hours, Slumdog Millionaire, and Sunshine, one of the best directors ever. And he did one of my favorite zombie movies. Some argue whether or not 28 Days Later counts as a zombie movie because A, they move very fast, and B, because it's a virus more than it's like a rage virus instead of like eating human flesh, even though they do eat people. In any case, great film, excellent follow-up. And now they said that they wanted to do 3, but they never did it. Not only are they doing another movie, and both Alex Garland and Danny Boyle are coming back, but they're doing a new trilogy. I don't know how I feel about that necessarily, but I like the fact that they're making another movie. I like the fact that they're working together again. It doesn't matter that it's a 28 Days Later installment. If I heard, hey, new mystery project with Danny Boyle and Alex Garland, I'd be sold, because 28 Days Later and Sunshine, which is the same pairing, great films. So be on the lookout for more news about that. Paul Thomas Anderson's next film has released some casting, which includes Sean Penn, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Regina Hall. I love Regina fucking Hall, and I am very, very excited for her to be in a Paul Thomas Anderson film. First of all, Paul Thomas Anderson, even though he's married to Maya Rudolph, doesn't have a lot of black representation in his films. And it's not to say like, oh, another white director being racist. I don't think it's a racist thing. I just am guessing he doesn't know how to write for black characters, so he stays away from black characters in any of his films. Like literally, I don't remember. There's got to be someone black in Magnolia at least. I don't remember anybody. He's a great director. If you've seen Magnolia, which I was a fan of, I don't recommend to everyone though. Punch Drunk Love is my favorite Adam Sandler movie. That is not an Adam Sandler movie. He also did most famously Boogie Nights and There Will Be Blood. Excellent director. Regina Hall is mostly known as a comedic actress, I would say. I'm excited to see her take a probably more serious role in this, even though she does have some serious background. And I'm excited to see her showcase that, and perhaps she can probably get an Oscar nomination because she's working with an Oscar maker. Usually every movie that Paul Thomas Anderson comes out with, the leads are nominated for Oscars. So it's a very great opportunity for Regina Hall. I will say I did not like his last movie, Licorice Pizza. I hated the title, I hated the trailer, and I didn't like the movie. It wasn't terrible. I just didn't see what was so great about it. And I think it is pretty, I'm pretty sure most people agree with me on that one. Next, Wes Anderson's next film released their casting. Bill Murray's going to return to work with Wes Anderson as he usually does. Michael Cera, and it's going to be starring Benicio del Toro, who was in The French Dispatch, but I don't really count that as a starring role. It's kind of hard to star in any Wes Anderson film because he always has a large ensemble that usually focuses on one character, i.e. Bill Murray's Steve Zuzu in The Life Aquatic, or on what's his name from Grand Budapest Hotel, Rafe Fiennes. I can't, whatever, one of the Fiennes is. So I'm excited to see Benicio helm or be the front runner. Ugh. All right, Game of Thrones. This is Game of Thrones showrunners David Benioff and DB Weiss revealed their Star Wars movie, The First Jedi. They said it was going to be about the very first Jedi. I think that would have been a really dope movie. And it fell through. I forgot how. It's probably why I put the link in the description here. We want to do The First Jedi. Basically how the Jedi Order came to be, why it came to be, the first lightsaber. And we were annoyed as hell when Rian Johnson called his movie The Last Jedi. He completely destroyed the obvious title for what we were working on. Lucasfilm ended up not wanting to do a First Jedi story. We had a very specific story in mind, and ultimately they decided they didn't want to do that. We totally get it. It's their company and their IP, but we weren't the droids they were looking for. I just thought that was kind of interesting. Lawrence Fishburne has been casted in the next season of The Witcher without Henry Cavill and with Liam Cunningham playing said Witcher. I don't know The Witcher. I don't watch The Witcher. I do know it was a popular show. I think that after next season, they're going to cancel it because not many people are going to watch it because people are going to be really mad about Henry Cavill not being in it anymore. And I don't know anyone that's like, I love Liam Cunningham. Liam Cunningham, wrong actor. I love Liam Hemsworth. So yeah, I do find it interesting. I love Lawrence Fishburne. So I'm reporting this because I don't want anything for him to be in to fail. So you should watch the next season of Witcher. Wrong fight, ass kicking guy that ends with ER. Lawrence Fishburne is going to be in the next Witcher season. Last of Us 2 casting. By Last of Us 2, I mean season 2 of the television series. As you should know, The Last of Us Part 2 video game has been out for a very long time, so a lot of people know what the story is going to be like and what new characters we're going to meet. I am very excited for this. I don't think it'll be better than the first season. I know the first game is better than the second game, but the second game is still one of the best games I've ever played. It's a hard-hitting story, I'll tell you that much, and it's very well executed. This character is, let me see, do I have it written down? Is going to be played by Isabella Merced. Is it Maria? I know what her relationship is in this. She plays someone's love interest in the second season, but I can't find out. Dinah, sorry. Dinah. She's going to be playing Dinah. I'm very excited about that. But what most people are talking about is the casting of Abby with Caitlin Dever. Caitlin Dever? Is it Dever? I think it's Dever. Or is it Denver? Dever. Caitlin Dever. I'm a big Caitlin Dever fan. I first knew her from Justified. Great show if you haven't watched it. It's on Hulu. And from Booksmart. And from recently, You Will Die. What was that movie called? Let's see. Caitlin Dever. You Are Not Safe Here. No one will save you. I don't have to look it up. No one will save you. That's that chick. A lot of controversy surrounded this game because women haters, i.e., probably 80% of men, hated this character because she was a buff female kicking ass. People didn't like it. So I don't know if that means anything, but don't hate her. Don't hate either of them. It's really stupid to hate a character just because they're buff. Does that make you insecure? In any case, Caitlin Dever is a very buff actor. And by buff actor, I don't mean with strength, but I mean with strength. But also, she could probably kick some ass. We'll see how much she's gonna have to hit the gym a little bit if she wants to look more like Abby. But I am very excited for her. This is a great opportunity because it's a great role, an excellent role. Her name is probably gonna become more of a household name like Bella Ramsey because of Last of Us season 2. If they do half as good as they did with the first season, it's such a great role for her. I'm very, very excited for it. And I want game 3 so we can know that there's going to be a season 3 of Last of Us because, what's going to happen now? Anyways, Stephanie Sue gets laid by Peacock. And what do I mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean by that. She is going to be starring in a Peacock show called Laid, which is about a woman who finds out that her former lovers are dying in unusual ways and must go back through her sex timeline to confront her past in order to move forward. It's a fucked up rom-com where the answer to why can't I find love? Is there something wrong with me? Is a resounding yes, there is. The problem is definitely you. That's pretty cool. That sounds a lot better than I thought it was going to be. The other two that are pictured are Nanchaka Khan and Sally Bradford McKenna. Khan worked on Young Rock and Always Be My Maybe. And what else? She did one other thing that I found interesting. I didn't watch Always Be My Maybe, but I did watch Oh, she directed Totally Killer, which I did like. I overall enjoyed that movie. I thought it was well made most of all. But writing wise, she also created Fresh Off the Boat, Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23. She was a writer for American Dad, What's New Scooby Doo, What I Like About You. Wait, maybe I'm thinking of a movie. I don't know what I Like About You TV series is. Malcolm in the Middle, Pepper Ann, Pepper Ann, Pepper Ann. I don't remember the show, but I remember that theme song. And Recess. So I think she's pretty cool. We know Stephanie Sue is a powerhouse. I'm very excited for this, whatever it may be. And it's got a pretty cool premise. Oh, and the other girl, I guess I should say what she makes, huh? She makes Son of Zorn. She made something else. I know this isn't that well of a prepared one. And no one's watching, which pisses me off because I specifically did this at a time where I knew that people had no excuse not to watch because of any other programming. You know what I mean? I'm guessing everyone's just like getting shit-faced right now, excited for the big game tonight. I understand there's a big game, but don't you want to talk about movies and TV while the game isn't on? The game's on an hour and a half. Let's talk about movies and television. Sally Bradford did. She worked on Will and Grace, Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23, other things. I'm so mad. I'm not very mad. Plus, who wants to talk about fucking Mean Girls musical? I just got to realize that people aren't going to watch just because the movie's popular. Because I don't think anyone really wants to see the Mean Girls musical. But I'll still tell you what I think about it. The death of our flag means death. What do I mean by that? I mean the show Death of Our Flag Means Death. It has died. It has been canceled. Check out the show on Max. I think it has a good enough ending. It's not that depressing that the show isn't on anymore. It is sad that we don't get to see as much acting from Taika Waititi. Because, I mean, I doubt we're going to see him in a TV show anytime soon. And I was surprised at how much the show had Taika. But in any case, it's gone. I do recommend the show. I think it's very good. The first season is better than the second, but the second half is really good. All right, let's now talk about what is on this week. Tonight, True Detective is returning for their new story that stars Jodie Foster and Callie Reese in Alaska. Callie is in real life is a professional boxer and a new actress that starred in Catch the Fair One and is going to be in the upcoming next installment of Wind River. The writer and director did a film called Tigers Are Not Afraid, which is on AMC+. We're going to be talking a little bit about that film next week when we talk about the new episode that's premiering tonight of True Detective. I hear Tigers Are Not Afraid is actually a pretty good film. I think it is foreign, but don't let that stop you. We'll be talking about something else foreign tonight as well. The Emmys tomorrow, Monday, 8 p.m. on Fox. Echo was on last week, but you can watch it right now, the whole season of 5 episodes on Disney Plus and Hulu. Lately, Hulu's been dropping a lot of Disney Plus product because I think Disney owns Hulu. And I do know Disney Plus's streaming is lacking, as in I think they're thinking of shutting the streamer down. Which, whatever, just put everything on Hulu. I rarely use Disney Plus for anything but this. I want to use it for more cartoons, but it's kind of hard when you're an adult because you don't really have time to just watch cartoons. You have to waste all your time watching Echo, the new Marvel TV show that's supposed to serve as a bridge between the films of the MCU and the old Netflix television show that is now revived. Is this going to answer the question of whether or not this is following the old Daredevil timeline? It's not. Is Daredevil in more than one scene? He's not. Is this show poppin'? I'm going to say no. It's not bad. It's got great representation, not only for the deaf community, but also for the Native American community as well. And that's cool. The actress does a very good job. In fact, we should probably learn her name instead of just calling her the actress, because actress is sexist. The actor that plays Echo is I'm gonna fuck up this name. Alaqua Cox. Alaqua Cox. Alaqua Cox. Alaqua Cox. That's a cool name. Alaqua Cox is a cool name. Alaqua Cox is a cool name. Alaqua Cox is a cool name. Alaqua Cox did a good job in Echo. I just still didn't love the show. Is it a bad show? I told someone that this wasn't a bad show. I said it's not good. And they're like, oh, well, then it's bad. I'm like, just because something isn't good doesn't mean it's bad. Allow me to explain. There are so many things out there that are not bad and not good. Godzilla vs. Kong is very enjoyable. It's not good. It is kind of bad. That's maybe not a good example. Anyways, Echo's not a bad show. There's just nothing too special about it. It doesn't have a hook that we haven't seen before, except that it stars a deaf actress and a deaf character. I do love the incorporation of sign language that's heavy in the scenes because the character doesn't actually speak. They only sign. And I find it interesting that a very popular show like this, the MCU would go this far for that character and for that actor, but not only that community, but also they did it with What If, which is an animated series. So you think like more kids would watch it than anything, but most of the episode was subtitled because it was in a different language. That was, a language of a tribe. I can't remember which one. In any case, the MCU is making cool decisions that have inclusion of other cultures that are not as well known or as well represented. I don't think I digress. The show isn't that great. And it's definitely not a bridge to Daredevil. The only thing that was bridged was the end credit scene. That's not that great. And it's not something that we don't know that has happened before, which actually I think the end credit scene proves that the old Daredevil series hasn't happened. Kingpin's going to run for mayor. Wasn't he was mayor, or he was running for mayor already before, right? In the Netflix universe of Daredevil? I don't know. Poppin' or not, it's not poppin'. But there are a few good scenes, specifically the fight scene with Daredevil and the one in the skate park. The fight scene in the skate park is really fucking good. And you will see good acting. You will see half of the cast of Reservation Dogs, which is cool. And it's dope. But yeah, there was just a lot more that I was expecting. And I got to stop expecting more, because the MCU doesn't know what they're doing right now. I'm glad that they're taking kind of a break from how much they're releasing this year so they can really focus on fixing everything that they're fucking up. I don't think that this show will have a season 2, but I'd love it if Daredevil will just come out instead of a weird semi-bridge to it. And hopefully he's still dating She-Hulk. Yeah, that's right. Fuck the haters. Ted, the Peacock series is out right now, the whole season. It is the prequel to the cinematic art that is Ted and Ted 2, where the teddy bear, Ted, hangs out with the 16-year-old Mark Wahlberg's character, and insert name here, and they go to high school together. I watched most of the first episode, and I shut it off because I wasn't interested. I have literally been very busy. I do things now. I have less time to watch things, and especially with a week like this, so many new TV shows and movies came out. It was very hard for me to catch up. This came out and I loved it. I loved every second of it. I was laughing so much. You know, I wasn't the biggest fan of the first Ted the first time I watched it. I just didn't think it was that funny. Kind of similar to how I felt about Will Ferrell films the first time I watched them. But the second time I was like, oh, okay, I like this. And I remember enjoying Ted 2 more than Ted 1, finding it more funny anyway. I did not enjoy Mila Kunis not being in it. But this television show is awesome because it's presented like a sitcom. And I mean, I guess it is sitcom situations, but it's almost shot as if it was multicammed as well. It's hard to explain, but like the establishing shot of the house every time is done to a little tune that's very akin to the Family Guy tune, which is very much a old sitcom tune that you'd hear. I'm saying the word tune a lot. So let's tune up and just say that Poppin, Ted, watch it, Peacock. I think there's 8 episodes in the season, and I hope that they make more. The Brother's Son on Netflix, another show I didn't finish the first episode, and this was also not the case of, oh, this is bad, I'm not watching this anymore. It was in the case of, I'm not going to go back and finish this because there's other things I'd rather watch, because I wasn't a huge fan of the show so far, but I will say it is popping enough for me to say other people should try it, because it is a fighting action. It's like an action show. It's like an action comedy show. When the head of a Taiwanese triad is shot by an assassin, his eldest son, Charles' son, heads to Los Angeles to protect his mother and brother, who's now completely sheltered from the truth of his family until now. This stars Michelle Yeoh. She isn't in much of it. You can tell that they looked out. She was looking out. I'm sure she got paid a lot, but she's like Danny DeVito to Sonny. Hey, we need to get an audience. We need people to watch this. What are we going to do? We need to cast someone very famous, and they don't have to be in every scene, but they need to be there enough for us to say that she's in this as a star. Although Danny DeVito's not that great of an example because he is now like really part of the gang, but you know what I mean. Brother's Son, poppin' or not, it's poppin'. Just lower your expectations. It's not like one of the best shows ever. It's just a good show to have on the television if you're doing something or if you're bored and want to watch a not too serious of an action show. What If on Disney Plus? Still haven't finished the season. What I think of it so far is it's fairly good. I'm just having a really hard time getting through the 1700s episode that has Captain Carter with the Robin Hood Avengers. I don't know. It's not a bad episode. I'm just really having a hard time getting through it. Happy Hogan is hilarious in this, and Happy Hogan's great in the Die Hard episode, which I looked up, and it's one of the lowest rated episodes of the series. Go fuck yourself. Die Hard's awesome. Parody the hell out of it, everyone, and Happy Hogan was dope in it. It was very fun. I like this season. Just got to finish it. Fargo, Wednesday is the season finale, I believe. I haven't watched the new episode this week, but it is a great show. If you haven't watched it yet, check it out on Hulu. Bookie, Max, Thursdays. Haven't watched the new episode. Monarch ended this Friday, last week, should I say. Now, if you're an avid viewer, you know that I've been talking mad shit about this show all season. The finale made the whole show worth it. It was so good. I'm telling you, I was watching it in my room here, and I usually always watch it on the big screen in the living room and on my movie screen with my sound bar to make it feel like I'm in a movie theater because I'm watching a show about giant monsters that never really show up. But I'll tell you one thing. Monsters show up in this episode, and not only are the monster fights good, but the character shit was good too. It's like all episodes that came before this last episode, it was just all foreplay. It was all just a lead up to this episode. It was epic. It had 2 really good character scenes, specifically from the grandma character. I don't want to give away too much, but I got to tell you, this one episode makes the whole show worth it. Poppin' or not, it is poppin'. I hope they come out with the season 2. I think that they will. I think that the show's very, I don't know if it's very well liked, but it does have good ratings. The episode was fucking awesome. It was a great lead into next season, and props, mad props. I love it. The Curse is on Paramount Plus, and I think the whole show is out right now. I'm very behind. So if you like Nathan Fielder, check it out. It's about an alleged curse that disturbs the relationship of a newly married couple as they try to conceive a child while co-starring in their new home improvement show. You can check this out on Paramount Plus. Before we talk about the new releases that came out this week, let's talk about things that I haven't watched that you might be interested in watching. AMC has this new thing called AMC Unseen, which I think is a really cool idea. Basically, they have screeners of movies where they haven't basically advanced screenings for movies, but they won't tell you what the movie is until you go out and see it. I think they started it late last year, and I don't know. Maybe I can find the next one because I think it's a really cool idea where if you love the movie so much and you want to see something that isn't going to come out for a few weeks, what's next, you know? Cool. The next one's January 29th. It is all they'll tell you is the rating and what it's rated. I just said that twice. They'll tell you the rating and how long it is. The next one's January 29th at 7 p.m. I think they do this throughout all the AMCs. They have one showtime. I think it's really cool. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I'm going to get my ticket. It's on a Monday, January 29th. I can do that. Fuck yeah, dude. That's exciting. I missed this last one. I had my ticket already. I forgot when it was. I didn't get an alarm or anything about it. So that's something you got to fix. Me, future me. I was very excited about it. I had rehearsal, so I had no. I wouldn't have been able to see it unless I would have told my director that I was sick. But the film this time was Origin, which isn't out yet. It's by the director Ava DuVernay. I cannot pronounce her name. Great director. But it's about author Isabel Wilkerson, who writes her seminal book Caste, The Origins of Our Discontents While Coping with Personal Tragedy. I watched a trailer to this earlier. I watched a teaser trailer before. I'm like, down. This looks excellent. And the main actor, I had her name down before. Anujue. Origin film. Yeah, what's her name? Stand by. I apologize, you bastards. Anjanae Ellis Taylor. I think I said that right. Anjanae Ellis Taylor. John Barenthal, Vera Farmiga, Niecy Nash. Yeah, she was in the trailer. Yeah. Anyways, it looks good, and it's not out yet. But if you do this AMC Unseen thing on January 29th, you get to see an early screening of other things as well. So yeah. Next, this was something that I really wanted to watch. I wanted to watch this almost I don't know why. I really like Jason Statham movies, but this is an action movie starring a beekeeper, and I just think it's really stupid. I hear it's ridiculous, but I don't know if it's like silly ridiculous or just like fun ridiculous. Like like John Wick is like ridiculous, but it's more serious, you know. I didn't look up what it's about, but I'm pretty sure it's about a beekeeper with his past coming back to haunt him, but fighting action style. David Ayer wrote and directed it, and he did Suicide Squad, you know, that one, not that one, with Jared Leto. And he wrote Training Day. He did that Christian Bale one. End of Watch. He did a few things. He's a very good director. I'm interested to see what he does with the Jason Statham action movie. I will be seeing this next week, so add this to the list of movies to see and what we're going to talk about next week. I just didn't have time, and also there's not that much coming out next week. So moving on. Night Swim. I will be seeing this. I know I talked shit about this movie, and I haven't heard any good things. I haven't heard any bad things. No one wants to go see a movie about haunted public pools. So stupid, dude. But I think it's going to be so bad it's good, and I don't think it'll be on purpose. I think I will enjoy it, even though I will dislike it. What else came out? This I really want to watch. Besides Time, I also didn't renew my subscription to AMC Plus, but they come out with some good movies. I proved that last October, where they came out. I think they still do come out with a new movie weekly, but October they came out with an awesome horror movie weekly, at least one per week, and I think they came out with like 2 or 3 because they're in association with Shudder. And this is a Shudder one as well. It looks ridiculous, like Trauma, that what's it called? Peter Dinklage is going to be the trauma film. Toxic Avenger. That's a trauma. I can't pronounce it. Trauma or trauma. This looks like one of those. It is called I Lost My Spot. I don't know where it... Destroy All Neighbors. A struggling rock musician finds himself in a living nightmare when he accidentally kills the neighbor from hell. It looks crazy. Check out the trailer for Destroy All Neighbors. And if you want to watch the film, check it out on AMC Plus. It's a decent app. Or it's a terrible app, but AMC Plus has a good selection of stuff, specifically in the horror realm. Role play. A young married couple's life turns upside down after secrets are revealed about each other's past. I'm pretty sure this is about David Oyelowo's character finding out that his wife, played by Kaylee Cuoco, is an assassin. That's what I gathered from the trailer. I wasn't that big of a fan of the trailer. I don't know if I like Kaylee Cuoco. I think I like her acting just fine. I don't have anything against her, but I'm never really excited about anything she's in. I was excited about The Flight Attendant. I didn't watch season 2, but I actually really enjoyed season 1. I'm not a Big Bang Theory fan. She's fucking gorgeous, and she makes me laugh. She was great in Flight Attendant too, actually. So I just got to give this movie a shot. I think I wasn't as excited because David Oyelowo is excellent at comedy. I'll watch this. It's on Prime, so watch it. Whoop, we're not talking about Mean Girls yet. Good grief. The Dan Levy. Eugene Levy, Dan. Yeah. Dan Levy from Schitt's Creek wrote and directed and starred as an artist grieving the loss of his famous writer husband, who takes his 2 best friends on a trip to Paris where they unpack messy secrets and hard truths. After checking out the trailer, I don't think this is for me. Soul is in theaters right now. The Pixar classic. It's not really classic, but this was released, I think, in 2020. It stars the voices of Jamie Foxx, Tina Fey, and Questlove. It was great, but this is your chance to see it in theaters with the kids. Criminal Record is a new Apple TV Plus series. I think they released the whole season on Apple TV Plus, but it's about an anonymous phone call that draws 2 brilliant detectives into a confrontation over an old murder case. One is a young woman in the early stages of her career, and the other is a well-connected man determined to protect his legacy. It stars, I forgot his name, Peter Capaldi. Peter Capaldi. He's a great actor. He used to be a Doctor Who. Check us out on Apple TV Plus. I haven't had a chance to check it out yet. And Monsieur Spade, which is Fridays on AMC Plus, stars the character from Humphrey Bogart's Maltese Falcon. He wasn't the Maltese Falcon. He was the Humphrey Bogart character. So it's based off that character, who is apparently a book character. But it stars Clive Owen. You know, it's like a hard-boiled film noir detective type of vibe. So I'm excited. And I love Clive Owen, and I like detective shit. So it's going to be good, hopefully. All right. Mean Girls musical. Poppin' or not? Let's just go straight into it. It was better than expected. Let's break it down into elements. Acting. Everyone was dope. I kept hearing so much positive feedback on, I don't know any characters' names. Lizzie Kaplan and the gay guy, those characters from the new one, the original ones. He was all right. She was an excellent singer, and actually that actress is really, really good. So yeah, I'll give her flowers for sure. He was funny. He made me laugh a couple times. I only laughed like 10 times during the movie, by the way. They use a lot of the same jokes from the first one, but it's not, they don't change the original jokes that much, which serves the original well. And they do like enhanced jokes by like singing the jokes louder, like October 3rd, or whatever the date was. That was kind of funny. And Tim Meadows has some great lines. I wish there was more Tim Meadows. Tina Fey has a really good musical bit, which was really awesome. Yeah, it was weird. It was enjoyable. I think it was very well made, directing wise. It looked like it was extremely fun to be an extra or any backup dancer or anything, because they do a lot of like large scenes with large casts and a large amount of extras that are dancing in unison or fighting, and like it's a very, very physical film. So that's really cool. There's always something to look at on screen. There's not too much music, at least for me, because if there's something I don't like in musicals, it's where the whole film is like told through music. And I know that that's like prime musical shit, but I'm just not into that. Most of the time I just wanted, I was like, man, I really, really just want to watch the first one. Like, I'm like, this has served its purpose. Let me watch the first one. I didn't rewatch it before this movie because I got the first one in my head pretty well. I've seen it quite a few times. It's a great film. But this makes you want to rewatch the original. I really, really enjoyed 2 songs. The others were okay, but again, I'm not a musical guy, so I guess having 2 songs that I really like, that's a good sign. Good cameos. I won't reveal too much. I will tell you that a famous rapper has 2 cameos who you should be able to figure out if you know the score, you should figure out this person makes an appearance. She makes 2 appearances, and the second one was really funny. Yeah, they just had some well-constructed jokes, and they had such throwaway jokes that happen at the tail end of scenes that are like funny if you think more about it. Like, basically the rapper that shows up, there's a lot of TikTok scenes, and I've seen a review. I watched a review of someone complaining about the inclusion of TikTok in this film. I'm not a TikTok user, but I am aware that TikTok is huge. People use it daily for hours. So I would say TikTok is a very heavy thing in today's society, especially amongst the youths and high schoolers. I can't say that firsthand because I don't know any or have any kids, but I'm assuming TikTok is huge. So they use it as montage musical scenes pretty often, but not too much to where I was drowning. I do know what the reviewer meant when they said that it was kind of like it was embedded in the film too much. I didn't think it was too much. I just thought it was a realistic portrayal of how much it's impacted the world. And everyone will be TikToking about shit like this. Now, one of my things that kind of drew me out of the film was the first Mean Girls. I'd say, it does the storyline of high school being cliquey, the jocks, the nerds, the blah, blah, blahs, the band geeks, whatever. This film still does it. They change they change the groups. I can't remember them. They were okay. I like that they changed them. The changes that they did were like, fun. And it is its own film. Not really. It's not its own film. It's like a fan-made film. That's what it felt like. An extremely expensive fan-made film. And this used to be something I would use as a slight, but I won't say it as a slight because I think it was executed very well as a fan-made film. It's just, I'm not a big musical guy, so I didn't really care for it. And just, why not just have Mean Girls? But I get the point of having this adaptation. I understood the point of the Broadway adaptation. It makes sense. Mean Girls it's weird. Mean Girls was very popular when it came out, but I think it just got more and more popular as the years progressed, which is pretty cool. But I see why you'd make that a musical, and I see money-wise why you'd want to just adapt that. But it is kind of stupid. While you're watching it, you are thinking a lot of times, like, it's really weird that they did this. But it's just, if you try to separate the original, which you really can't, it's just fine. It's super cool. They do a lot of cool cinematography stuff. They do a lot of cool synchronized dancing, and the newer casts I thought was a fairly good ensemble. Everyone really put their heart into their roles. Yeah. There's not many negative things I can say about this film, but when I tell people Poppin or not, I have to remind myself of what the definition of Poppin is for this show. I'd say the definition would be, is this something I would recommend to everyone? No. I think that this movie is going to get a lot of hate. And I think that even though I still stand by this movie is made very well, I think even people that truly believe the movie's made very well would still say, I wish they didn't make this. So it's kind of difficult. Anyone that calls it bad or anything, which I haven't heard anyone, because I don't know anyone that wants to see this. I wasn't excited to watch this. I just knew it was a controversial film that came out. When the trailers came out and people realized it was when the trailers came out, people lost their shit. They're like, why are they doing this again? And people didn't even know it was a musical. But now there's videos circulating of people like groaning at the singing scenes, which is funny because I was talking about this the other day. I can't remember what film this happened with, but it's happened a couple times where I was very excited to watch this movie and didn't know it was a musical. So every scene that wasn't musical, I was like, oh, dope. And when they started singing, I'd be like, fuck, I don't want to hear them sing. So I understand that sentiment, and I understand the sentiment of why remake a classic, especially if that classic came out less than 20 years ago. Was it less than 20? I hope it was. It is a fan-made film. And I think for me personally, it was popping enough for me to smile a lot. It was popping enough for me to not think about leaving. And that's a positive, I'd say. So you can see it in theaters and be the judge of yourself if you'd like. The Book of Clarence. I watched this today. Poppin'. I'm gonna let you know. If you checked out a trailer for this, it looks very strange in the aspect of, I don't know if this is a comedy or if this is a serious alternate history, a revision, a history revisioned film. Basically, this is about a man named Clarence, who is the brother of one of Jesus's apostles, the twin brother of one of Jesus's apostles. While that one's Thomas. I don't know if that's a real apostle or not. But while Thomas believes in the Messiah, who is Jesus of Nazareth, his twin brother Clarence, who mostly schemes and is an atheist, or maybe not an atheist isn't the right word. He just doesn't believe in God. Maybe that's the definition of atheism. He doesn't believe that Jesus is the Messiah, and he owes a lot of money to people. He wants to become the 13th apostle in order to show good face to one of the gangsters he owes money to. But Thomas is like such an unnecessarily mean fucking brother. He hates Clarence. He thinks Clarence will amount to nothing, and he always knows that Clarence has a trick up his sleeve, and he knows that Clarence doesn't believe in God. Clarence comes up with the idea to be a Messiah, that Jesus is not the Messiah. I don't think that was part of the con. I think it was just like, I can speak to God and I can heal people and I can do these tricks as well. So there's a lot of opportunity for comedy there. There's a lot of opportunity for hilarious bits, especially with the tricks that they would come up with in front of these groups of people that are buying into the fact that this guy can talk to God. And they do it. They just don't do. That's not what the movie's about. It does a serious take on a very imaginative, bold, with great cinematography, great old movie tricks like Iris shot, and great acting, great transition shots. Like, it was directed and edited very well. This was written and directed by James Samuels, aka The Bullets. I don't listen to his music. I just saw a video with him and Rosario Dawson. I recommend it. It is a fake film that looks real, a fake music video that looks real. Check it out. But he wrote and directed The Harder They Fall with Jonathan Majors, Idris Elba, Regina King. I always fuck up their names. Regina King, Lakeith Stanfield, who stars in this. He's got his own style. Like The Harder They Fall, people are like, "Is this a comedy?" It's got funny moments, but no, this is a black Western, and Western being the most important word. There wasn't that much comedy in that. This, when the trailer was on, I'm like, this seems like a comedy, but it's not. It just does a lot of imaginative shit that could be comedic, but it does have very silly moments, but it gets really heavy, specifically at the end. But Poppin or not, it is poppin'. I think people should watch this. I'm not a religious guy, nor do I know much about the Bible, so I think you'd like it more because of that. The cast was great. Let's see. The female lead, Anna Diop. I didn't look at her filmography, but she was great. The movie style is very similar to Lakeith Stanfield's Sorry to Bother You, which was written and directed by Boots Riley, who did also I'm a Virgo on Prime. I still got to finish that show, by the way. They have similar styles in that they're both very imaginative and bold in like almost fantasy worlds, but almost fantasy worlds in fantasy worlds, but they're very unique in the aspect that this director has their own genre, and this one has their own genre, and Tarantino has their own genre. No one can make a Tarantino film except for Tarantino. No one can make a Spike Lee movie except for Spike Lee, because they all have their own feel, their own environment. Scorsese too. Spielberg in a way, but not many people can see it, and it's still not that honed in, and J.J. Abrams can recreate it very easily. You can see that with Super 8. But James Samuels does as well. No one can make another movie like him. Wes Anderson is an excellent example. His movies are unlike any other movie. And that's the same with these, I would say. Is it Teyana Taylor or is it Teyona Taylor? Because I always fuck up her name. She was great as Mary Magdalene. She's only got a few scenes, but there's one heavy scene she has that's really, really well done. She should have been nominated for a Golden Globe, by the way. We'll talk about that at a future date. I have something special for the Academy Awards. RJ Seiler, who was in, or is it? Yeah, I think it's Seiler from The Harder They Fall. He's also on Rap Shit. Caleb McLaughlin from Stranger Things. He has a very small role in this, but he's excellent. He needs to be in more shit. Michael Ward from Empire of Light. James McAvoy is in a few scenes, and Alfre Woodard is in one scene. Just a great cast altogether. I can't really go into too much detail. Just know that it is different. If you like Sorry to Bother You, if you like The Harder They Fall, which is on Netflix, you'll like this movie. You'll thoroughly enjoy it. But you will be thrown. It's a strange movie with a strange vibe, but it's dope. Omar Sy, also really great in this. It is poppin'. Do you need to go out to theaters to see it? There's not that many choices. I would pick seeing Book of Clarence over seeing Mean Girls. But if you want to have more fun, you should probably go see Mean Girls. Because Book of Clarence, you're not going to have fun. It's not, I mean, you will have fun moments, but yeah. Oh, there's also a cameo at the end, and it's fucking hilarious. And that cameo of the person that they're playing, which is the homeless man, it's really, really good. Check out this movie. It's definitely worth it. Definitely worth money. It's definitely worth go show your support for this film, because I want to see more films from James Samuels. Self-Reliance on Hulu. This was the best thing I watched this weekend. This or Godzilla. It's so funny that I'm sorry, Monarch. Self-Reliance stars Jake Johnson as a man who is approached with an opportunity where a black market website wants to produce a reality show where if the contestant agrees, he must try to survive 30 days without being assassinated by assassins. Basically, there's a bounty out on him, and he if he survives for 30 days, he gets $1 million. However, it sounds impossible, but the loophole is he's not allowed to be killed if someone is within 5 feet of him. Basically, he has to be in the same room as someone else, and they have to be pretty close as well. They don't have to. I don't think they have to be this close, but like probably to the other side of the room. So stars him, stars Anna Kendrick. That's all I'll say. There are other people in it. There's an actor that plays. There's a few actors that play themselves in it as well. It's fucking awesome because it's a comedy. This is kind of similar to Book of Clarence, actually. Oh, so you say? They're two different movies in one. Self-Reliance is a comedy, but it's shot, edited, musically constructed as if it were a thriller, and it's really good. It's so well made, and this was written and directed by Jake Johnson as well. Jake Johnson he wrote Win It All, one of my favorite movies. Check it out. It's on Netflix right now. I don't know which is better between the two because I wasn't as big of a fan of this one's ending as I was with Win It All. Win It All is one of my favorite endings in anything. But this ending was satisfying enough. And it didn't really matter what the answer was to the big question you're asking yourself the entire time you're watching the film. But it's very, 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 very good. So well made. Great acting. Has some heavy scenes and has some hilarious ones as well. This was produced by Lonely Island as well, which is Andy Samberg, Akiva Schaffer, and Norma Taccone, whatever. Check it out. It's on Hulu. Highly, highly recommend. It is poppin' for anyone. It's mind-fucky. It's really, 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 really good. Self-Reliance on Hulu. Lift, however, with Kevin Hart on Netflix. This is basically, it's basically The Italian Job. A lot of people compare it to Ocean's 11. I would compare it to The Italian Job. If you haven't seen The Italian Job, it's with Mark Wahlberg, Jason Statham, Charlize Theron. It was an excellent movie because excellent in the sense of it's very enjoyable. It's not that great. Like it's not that great. It's not that great. It's just super enjoyable. And they were going to make a sequel called The Brazilian Job, which they never pulled the trigger on for some fucking reason. But anyways, The Italian Job was directed by F. Gary Gray, who also did Friday, and he also did Law Abiding Citizen. A lot of music videos. A Man Apart with Vin Diesel. Very underrated film. I didn't know he did The Negotiator. Straight Outta Compton. So was he nominated for an Oscar for that? He should have been. Also, The Fate of the Furious. That was 2 movies ago. It's like the one of, if not the worst, Fast and Furious movies. I'm not trying to talk shit about him because overall, excellent director, but let's be real. That was one of the worst Fast and Furious movies. And I tried this. I gave it an honest shot, and I could give it another shot, but I shut it off after like 15 minutes. Men in Black International. That was a film I was kind of excited about, only because I love Tessa Thompson. I really, really enjoy Chris Hemsworth, but I love Tessa Thompson. But that movie wasn't good. I'll give it another shot. So his last 2 movies sucked. But Lift with Kevin Hart, it's fun. It's easy. It doesn't make much sense. And it's very like, it treats their audience like they're idiots. Like, it's stupid. The technological shit in this movie's stupid. They speak in exposition. Like, hey man, This is my best friend, David. Yeah, me and him go a long time back. This is Wendy. She's the tech girl. Like shit like that. This is not me quoting either. Because it's everything that's said on screen is just stupid and bullshit. There were surprisingly some funny parts. They relied mostly on this having an Italian Job, Ocean's 11 vibe rather than a hilarious comedy that they should have went for instead of this weird, like it didn't work what they did with it. Now there was one very funny, like very Kevin Hart-ish scene where he gives her a look because him and Vincent D'Onofrio Kingpin are talking. And he goes, "You get this look on your face when you see her like this." And he goes, "No, I don't." And he does the look, and Kevin Hart he's so funny. But he's not a badass. He isn't. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to fight Kevin Hart. And I think what he does with his career and what he does for the world, not only in entertainment, but in making business and creating job opportunities and to giving back and for getting into fitness as well. He's a great businessman. And I overall love his films. I haven't liked, I don't think, his last couple movies, though. I didn't finish his last stand-up. I fucking hated Ride Along 2. I did not like Night School. And I did like that little mini series he did with Wesley Snipes. In any case, I didn't love this movie, but it even though I will call it a bad movie, I'm going to call it that. It's a bad movie. It's enjoyable because it's easy and the storyline's stupid. It's like, hey, here, have fun with this Netflix movie that you don't have to think about. And if you walk away for a half an hour and you come back, you didn't miss much. It's fun. I would say if you like Kevin Hart, yeah, you don't need to see it. You don't need to see it either way. You really don't. You'd have to have nothing to watch. Goo Goo is the best part of this movie. She's awesome. I want her to be in more things. I also want her to think that she deserves better things. I love you, Kevin Hart. I love you to death. It's just, I think he tried really hard to be like a Danny Ocean, like, oh, yeah, I'm a thief. And, oh, look at me, I'm cool. Like, just, I don't know. I think he's a cool guy, but when he tries to be cool, he tried really hard to be cool in this. Society of Snow. This is already on Netflix. It's been on Netflix, I think, for a couple weeks now. Y'all, I'm telling you, when I tell you that this was one of the most uncomfortable, one of the most powerful films I've ever seen, I'm telling you the truth. This was a crazy movie, and I don't know how to describe this movie. It's uncomfortable. It's very long. It's 2.5 hours long. Remember that movie Alive with Ethan Hawke? I never finished it because I was like, I don't want to watch this movie. I'm uncomfortable. I know that this is based off of a true story. A Chilean rugby team crashes in the mountains for over a month and have to survive on their own. It's so uncomfortable and it gets you claustrophobic. Did I cry? I'm trying to think if I cried at this one. I'll tell you, I cried at Book of Clarence. I didn't think I was going to admit that to you, but I did. And it wasn't like, it was just like, oh, God damn it, stop it. There was some powerful shit in there. But this, I didn't cry, but I was like, God damn. I kept not wanting to look at the screen. And I wanted to keep taking a break, but I'm like, no, this is an excellent film. It's one of the best movies I've ever watched. The guy who did this, J.A. Bayona, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. He did The Impossible. He also did some other, When a Monster Calls. And The Impossible is excellent, by the way. The Orphanage. A couple episodes of Rings of Power. Fallen Kingdom, that Jurassic World, the second movie. I didn't like that movie that much. He also did, that's it. He did some other stuff, but nothing worth mentioning. Just a great film. Check it out. It's on Netflix right now. It is in Chilean. Is that the language? Probably Spanish. It's probably in Spanish. I don't know. It's in a different language, but I'm sure that they have an English dub. It is Poppin. Like I said, keep in mind it's 2.5 hours long, and it'll make you uncomfortable. It's a wild story, though. Very wild. All right, coming out next week is ISS, which is in theaters Thursday. This movie looks super cool. I was forced to sit through the whole trailer. I think I put in my AirPods midway through. I remember I was seeing Godzilla -1 in IMAX. Great decision, by the way, because that movie's fucking incredible. This is going to be in IMAX as well. It's about a space station which has an American crew and a Russian crew. And basically on Earth is World War III. Like they see bombs being dropped all over the world. And now the American government and the American government is telling the American crew that they need to take control of the space station. And the Russian government is telling the Russian crew that they have to do the same for their country. So very high stakes. It's the end of the world, and you have to defeat another group. And also, from what the trailer shows, both groups are very fond of each other. They're like a family up there. But now they're torn apart by war. So it's really, 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 really cool idea. Let's see who the director is. I haven't looked at much into this. I do know that the actress in it looked familiar. Actor, I gotta stop saying actress. Chris Messina's in it. That's dope. All right, Ariana DeBois. DeBois. Was she in West Side Story? She's in Schmigadoon, which I do need to watch still. Some Westworld episodes. Yeah, West Side Story. She was really good in West Side Story. Oh, she was in Hamilton as well. Yeah, she's in this. It looks really fucking good, dude. Let's see. Directed by Gabriella Cowperthwaite, who did... Sorry, guys. I'm going to move on in a second. You guys got to check out the trailer for this. It looks really good. She did movies called The Grab, this miniseries Children of the Underground, Our Friend, Megan Levy, and Blackfish. Oh, she directed Blackfish, the documentary? Wow. All right. Megan Levy sounds familiar. With Kate Mara. I heard of this. I think it's good too. I haven't seen it though. Anyways, that's coming out. That's like the only movie in theaters that's coming out this weekend. There was a shit ton that came out this week. There's still much more I want to see that are in select theaters, like American Fiction and Anatomy of a Fall. But they're just not around me right now. So I apologize if you're watching this in Japan or California and you're like, hey, dude, I just saw on the marquee American Fiction. Why ain't you talk about it yet, bruh? Why ain't you watch it yet, dude? Well, for one, I don't have access to all of the movies. So if you want to advertise by giving me that access, pow. And two, just not all movies are playing around me. What else is coming out? The Kitchen is going to be coming out on Netflix Friday. That was gross. I spit. This one looks just okay to me. It's about in a dystopian future London where all social housing has been eliminated. Izzy and Benji fight to navigate the world as residents of The Kitchen, a community that refuses to abandon their home. It doesn't look necessarily bad. It just looks like a average action-y social commentary Netflix film. However, this was co-written and co-directed by Daniel Kaluuya. So I want to watch it. He hasn't I don't think he's credited as co-writing or co-directing anything. So I'm excited to see what he does with this because it looks very serious too. And it looks well made. So yeah. The Kitchen, Netflix Friday. And finally, the only show that's new that's coming out is called Death and Other Details, which stars Mandy Patinkin and Violet Bean, who stars this detective Rufus Cotsworth and protege Emma Jean who digs the truth in a wealthy sailing boat in the Mediterranean where everyone is hiding something. I believe this is kind of like Murder on the Orient Express, except with a different character or two, and on a sailing boat. That's a yacht. It looks like a yacht to me. And that's it, guys. We did it. We made it. No one watched, but I'm happy to do this anyway. There'll be more to come. There'll be more to see. And I'll see you at the movies.